and Saul are just having some fun, asking each other questions. Got into talking about what Saul does every day, and he does a lot of, like, quite a big management role. And so I've asked him to list his 3 top management priorities or techniques that he thinks are really valuable in the kind of work that he does. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I would say stop thinking about it as management and start thinking about it as management as part of leadership, and own that leadership. So rather think about leadership than management, and own your leadership, which has a lot of implications for how you behave during the day. The second thing is to create a team and a dynamic in the organization through operations and structures and whatever, through which you can easily impart your vision, so that those other people in the organization other than yourself operate towards that vision without you needing to even be there.
Okay.
And the third thing is to be connected, still be connected enough to the details at the very, very end of your organization, where your organization meets its beneficiaries or its end product.
Saul asked me to try to describe the stages that I've been through, or that we've been through as a group during this experience. Okay, so the first stage for me that I see was adjustment. So this was a radically different experience for my body and for my mind. I mean, I've been in isolated places before, and I've been in small groups before, but the physical demand was quite extreme the first few days. The heat, walking on the sand, a lot of sun. I have quite fair skin, so it was tough initially. I was very weak. I wasn't having a daily meal, and I really struggled with that. So I think that was inevitable, and I think my body did the right thing. It kept me in the shade, it made me drink a lot of water, and it limited my activity, so I didn't exhaust myself. Okay, and then the second stage was the re-realization that I'm actually incredibly strong, and I don't mean necessarily physically in an obvious way. Like, I'm not a very heavily built person, but I have a lot of inner strength that gets me through difficult stuff. And I know this about myself, but I sometimes forget. And it's good to be reminded, actually, I can handle this, and I'm doing fine, and then just to keep going. And then I got into some really good routines. I started just to do one thing at a time, one step at a time, keep going forward, and I started to feel much better as a result of that, actually. And then the stage that I think I've moved into now is definitely sort of a moving inward. If the stage 2 was sort of like a real physical experience more, and with some sort of a motivational mental experience, the third stage has definitely been about sort of being quiet and listening, just reflecting on a lot of experiences that have happened in the last 2 to 3 years that have been quite important for me, and just reviewing a lot of things, planning for the time ahead. And I've really moved into that in the last few days. And that, I think, for me, is probably going to be the stage that will continue till the end. But I do think that what I'm seeing myself moving from is quite a outward expression of things that I'm working through. And I think eventually I'm going to move to quite a quiet place, like peace by the end, just sitting, thinking through things, but in a very calm way that doesn't require a conversation all the time. And I think we're already starting to see that. We were commenting on it today, that we're speaking quite a lot less sometimes, and we're just really being quiet in the nature, which is what I came here to do. So I'm really happy with that, if that's how it goes, and that's kind of what I think we're heading towards. Sometimes after lots of discussions, it's quite hot here, we get hot and we decide we're going to run into the sea. So that's what it looks like to run into the sea, and this is a little bit of a view of our beach. Saul stays in this house here. You can see the front entrance to, whoa, easy now. See the front entrance to his house is over there. So we've been working on that since we got to this beach, and it looks really awesome. And then, oh, sorry for the bad zooming. Then there's just a view of our beach here. So we are the only 2 people on this island, we think. It's pretty spectacular. There is Cornick himself standing on the threshold of his villa, wearing a blue speedo this afternoon, and he will come down to the water. Maybe you can tell us what being so close to the ocean has meant to you.
The ocean for me is like fucking hell. Keeps fish really fresh.
Just waiting for you to catch it.
It's like the day at a water park where you can also swim and look at beautiful things at the aquarium, and it sings you a lullaby to sleep, and it determines when you can and can't go fishing, and it sometimes washes away your fire, and it changes colour all the time. It's like a mood ring.
For the earth, bro. That's awesome. So this is just to show you the sunsets that we get here. They've really been a highlight for me. I'm a really big fan of photographing sunsets. I find them fantastically beautiful, and we've seen some amazing ones here with clouds in the horizon and the sunsets towards the end of our beach. So this is how it looks today.